Hey guys, Happy New Year and welcome back to the channel. Today's video is going to be a 15-year wear and tear review of the Chanel Classic Medium Flap Bag. So with me over here is the Classic Medium Flap. So this is in the size medium large as what most people call it or know it for. And it is in the black caviar leather with gold hardware. So this bag is a 7 series bag. So computing the years, it's currently 2018. And by the way, I am filming this video towards the end of New Year, which is why I know this video will be up by the New Year already. So technically, I'm still counting this video as something I filmed in 2018. Thus, this bag is around 15 years old at the moment of filming. If you do the math, it's currently 2018 and this bag was made in either 2002 to 2003. So this bag is in the range of like 15, 16 years old. So if you watch my unboxing of this bag, and if you haven't yet, I'll link it down below. But if you've watched that video, you would know that I purchased this bag pre-loved around, was it 2014? Or 2015. I'm not sure. I'm just gonna go back and check my unboxing if I purchased this bag in 2016 or in 2015. But yeah, I think I purchased this around 2 to 3 years ago, pre-loved, which means when I purchased this bag, it already had around 13 years of wear, more or less, when I got it. So it was already pretty old when I got this bag, and so far I've used it for an additional 2 years. So now I'm here doing a 15-year wear and tear of this little baby. So I'll just take you quickly again through the bag. It's in black caviar leather. It's in the gold hardware, and also, by the way, since this is a 7 series bag, the gold hardware is actually 24 karat plated gold, which makes it really special because the gold hardware that Chanel produces nowadays, it's just electroplated gold hardware, not actual 24K gold plating. So the hardware of this ended up lasting longer and there's barely any tarnishing whatsoever through the 3 years. Also, if you open the bag, it is still in the black interior since it's a very old bag. This is when they used to produce the black caviar bags with a matching black interior. So as you can see, it's also black. Basically, those are the basic specs of the bag. Now we'll skip on to the wear and tear because, damn, this bag, honestly, like every time I look at this bag, it just looks like it's in such pristine condition, which is why I really love Chanel because I don't know, like, can you guys tell that this bag is already 15 years old? Because I don't know, I mean, like, obviously it doesn't look like a brand new Chanel bag from out of the store, but it seriously doesn't look 15 years old. Like, can you tell me if you've ever seen any other bag that looks this good after 15 years? Like, I feel like that's why I really love Chanel, or that's why I really love the brand, because the quality and the workmanship is just there. So yeah, I'll just go through like all the little details of this bag because I don't think this bag has ever gone to a spa yet. Like, it's in its original color, and looking at it, it really doesn't look like it's gone through any spa at all. So these are my observations on how this bag has aged through the 15 years. So the first thing that I have observed is definitely the quilting. You can still see the quilting, and some of the quilts are still puffy, but you will notice its age when you actually like press the quilts, because for a brand new Chanel bag, if you press the quilts, it's like, you know, there's something in there, like it's still full. Whereas this one, like, it still looks quilted outside, but when you press it, you will notice that there's some air space inside because the stuffing under the quilting has already deflated. There's that air gap that you can feel if you press it. And I don't want to press it hard anymore because it's going to be flat once I do. There's still some slight puffiness, but not so much anymore. So that goes for the front. The back, actually, most of the quilts at the back, they're already flat. It's not like the front where you can still see some puffiness despite the air space. Here at the back, it's just basically like flat. All the quilts have flattened already because, you know, I mean, it's 15 years old. Most of the quilts at the back have definitely deflated, although you can still see it. They're still there, but it's just all flat. Like how most of the lambskin bags in this age wear. So very flat already at the back. Now, leather wise, all the grains are still intact. Like it's crazy because my Chanel medallion, I have some, I have some grains like of the caviar, like they've already disappeared because I keep on putting them down on hard surfaces. So eventually, like some of the grains already, I feel like they just rubbed out to a smooth surface. So some of the corners of my medallion bag are already smooth and you can't really see the grain anymore. Whereas this bag, I can still see all the grains. Like, I don't know if it's just because the previous owner took very good care of it, but like there are no flat or smooth surfaces due to wear in this bag at all. Like, all the grains are still perfect. You can see every single grain on here. The corners. If you've watched my 6-year Chanel medallion bag review, you would see that the biggest wear on that bag were the corners because I kept on putting it down on hard surfaces. So naturally, like the caviar grain, it smoothed out. Basically, looked like a smooth leather on the corners. But for this one, I don't know, guys, like there's no scuffing at all. I seriously don't know if it's just really good care that the previous owner did with this, because this bag, I don't know if it's because she took really good care of this or because the quality of this older bag is just really much better than the bags these days, but damn, this bag is hard wearing. It's really hard wearing. I really don't see any scuffing with the leather. I'm gonna try to look for a scuffing on the leather and report you guys, but as of now, like, there is none. The only other thing, obviously the smell. It smells old. Like, it's a 15-year-old bag, so naturally it will smell a little bit old. It doesn't smell bad, but it doesn't smell like a brand new bag either. Like, you don't smell from far away, but if you really try and smell it up close, that's when you smell that it is from a very long time ago. Like, it is from 15 years ago. You'll definitely smell that it is 15 years old. It doesn't have a bad odor, but you will know that the leather is old. The other thing that I noticed regarding wear and tear is the back pocket. When I initially got it, the back pocket was actually stuck to this area. So because it was an old bag and probably because of storage, the pocket was stuck and it was like a little bit sticky. I suggest you guys watch my unboxing of that bag because you will hear like squeaking when I first opened it, because I guess the bag was stored for a long time, so it kind of squeaked when I opened this area up. But now I use this back pocket a lot for like my cards, so it's actually pretty good now. The back pocket doesn't stick anymore, which is good. I think that was one of the main things that showed wear and tear when I first got this bag. As for the hardware, I mentioned earlier that it's in 24 karat plated gold, which is why even the hardware is in really great shape. Like, for 15 years, this hardware barely has any scratches. Like, you can count the scratches. I'm gonna do some close-up shots and show you guys, but you can see just very tiny scratches on the lower C's, some on the upper C's, and no tarnishing at all. Can you guys see any tarnishing? I don't know, like, it just still looks so shiny, and I really love it. Even with the chains, like, I don't think there has been any tarnishing with the chains. Like, if there was any tarnishing, it would have probably just been like from a darker color of yellow to a lighter shade now, because you can see the yellow is pretty light compared to the really vintage ones that were colored like solid yellow gold, but this is a little bit lighter. I really love the hardware though. For something that's 15 years old, this hardware is in like excellent condition. Still so shiny. I swear that I don't know how this bag is 15 years old. Someone tell me. Next we go on to the interior. When you open it up, this is the interior. So as I mentioned, it's still the black interior. The difference is that the interior for this bag is in lambskin leather as compared to the caviar outside. So with the wear and tear of the interior, it's actually also in pretty good condition. Some scratches obviously due to wear, but other than that, it's perfect. Like, barely any scuffing. The leather inside hasn't cracked yet, because I've seen some vintage flaps where the leather of the interior was already cracked, so they had to like restore it. But for this one, it's still in great condition, no cracking at all, and the pockets are still intact, and even the Chanel stamping at the middle, it hasn't faded. The hologram sticker inside is still intact as well. So the entire interior is actually also in pretty good condition. So there, that was basically the entire bag. The structure has also held up pretty well, as you can see. Like, it's not sagging or anything. This bag can seriously still stand on its own. It looks perfect in all the angles. For me, I don't think this bag looks like 15 years. I mean, if you closely inspect it, yes, maybe you will get a hint of it being 15 years old. But other than that, like from afar, you know, sometimes I would tell my sister, like, you know, this bag really looks good. Like, it's still so shiny for a 15-year-old bag. This bag looks hella good. So yeah, I think that's all I have to say. If you guys are contemplating on getting a vintage bag or getting a bag that's, let's say, as old as this, 15 years old, this is more or less the type of quality that you're going to expect from it. Like, definitely some deflated quilting here and there. But other than that, I feel like a bag in the market that's 15 years old, it would still be a pretty good bag to invest in. I just really love this bag. Every time I look at it, I just appreciate it more and more. Not only because it's Chanel and it's the classic flap, I feel like because it is 15 years old and it was made in 2002 to 2003, I feel like it's more special because it's gone through something. Like, this is an aged bag, and I know that this bag has seen and experienced a lot of things that maybe even I haven't. I gotta say though that the previous owner of this bag definitely took care of it. I don't know how many times she used this, because 15 years, that's a pretty long time, and if you left a bag with me for 15 years, I would probably beat it up to death. And by the time 15 years end, like, it would have probably be like shattered and broken to pieces. But yeah, this bag is in really great condition and I really love it. So I hope that's some input that you guys would take into consideration if you guys are thinking of buying something pre-loved in this age range. So yeah, I hope you guys like this video. I'll put some mod shots at the end of the vid. So there you have it. I hope you guys like this video and learned a thing or two about the wear and tear of this Chanel flat bag. If you guys like this video, then don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below and follow me on Instagram at TrishDLF. I'll see you soon in my next video. Bye!